go. Hey everybody, welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. As always, I'm joined by the Masters crew, Dynasty Owl. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Doing fantastic.
Yep, beautiful day to be alive. Beautiful day to be talking about redraft football. Right before we jump into this show, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, come be a part of the Masters family. What we're going to be doing in this show, just had a redraft league Sunday finish up. We're going to be taking a look at the wide receiver position, look at the order some of these guys got drafted. With that said, let's jump right into it. Any wide receivers here stick out to you?
Yeah, so this is one where I think on one of our shows last week, we were kind of, guys were avoiding at their current ADP. And my guy was Davante Adams, and that was because he was still the first receiver coming off the board. Here he was the second receiver, but I mean, at the 1.10, I feel the same way. We talked about the Aaron Rodgers, and this is not a slight on Davante Adams. I think he's amazing. Obviously, last year won a lot of people their leagues, put up huge numbers. But when we talk about Aaron Rodgers, we talked about it, pre-show, we really think more than likely he's out of Green Bay. He's made it clear, he wants to play elsewhere. And if Aaron Rodgers is out of the picture, I don't think we love Davante Adams. And I feel like his ADP is not reflecting the fact that Aaron Rodgers probably will not be throwing him passes. So give me Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins over Davante Adams. I think then you can start to make a case for Davante Adams with the DK, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson type receivers. But I think Tyreek, Diggs, and Hopkins are my top three.
Yeah, I'm with you. And actually, we were just having like a little debate in the kitchen prior to this show. I'm going to ask you guys now. The question was, would you take Davante Adams with Jordan Love, or would you rather have Courtland Sutton or Judy, whichever one you think's the one, with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, and I said give me Sutton or Judy.
And I'm with them. I think, give me either Sutton or Judy with Rodgers. Maybe you guys at home, man, if you agree or disagree, leave it in the comments. Let us know which one you'd rather have. I actually think it's a really good question, though.
Yeah.
So, all right, then sitting here looking, and I'm just going to bring it up again. I just did it on my wide receivers not to draft. I personally think it's too high for A.J. Brown at the 2.8. It remains to be seen. I said the guy finished 17th and 24th. So far, I think that offense takes a step back. For me, at the 2.8, there's a couple guys underneath them I'd probably rather have who've already been like top 10 wide receivers in their career. That's just me personally, though.
Yeah, and I agree with that take completely. And it's not from a talent standpoint. It's just from, the scheme and just style of offense that they're going to run in Tennessee.
Right, and as crazy as it sounds, we spoke a little bit about Julio possibly joining Tennessee. Like, I would like him better with Julio.
I agree. I think the fact that Corey Davis is gone, because I think they were actually closer than people gave credit to Corey Davis. The fact that now A.J. Brown is the only real receiver in Tennessee, I think defenses are going to double him and bracket him all day. But if Julio comes, then all of a sudden get some better one-on-ones, I think he can start to dominate.
It's going to be tough to stop. Speaking of Julio, too, with the 4.5, I know the guy's getting a little long in the tooth. Guys are trying to sour on him a little bit. I think he's got one more good year left in him, and I really like it if he ends up somewhere.
I think he definitely should have one more good year, but CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Amari Cooper, Thielen, Woods, the guys who went right after him, I think easily could still outproduce him.
I could see that.
I think right above Galladay is where I would take him in this draft, the order they kind of went. Like that Lamb, Chase, Cooper, Thielen, and Woods line, I kind of like all those guys a lot.
Right.
But, Julio, obviously, Hall of Famer, still absolutely has some gas in the tank.
And I don't know what team it would be. I'm sitting here trying to rack my – obviously like Green Bay, maybe even like Baltimore, which I don't know if any of those are in play. If I'm Green Bay, like that's who I'm on the phone with Atlanta right now. I said it – me and John were talking about it. I was like, that's your one ticket to maybe keep Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Bring in Julio Jones. So I don't know what it would take. They do need a running back, though.
I'm going to throw out these two destinations because I saw a report today, and I think it was Julio who was kind of lobbying for these two. And I'm sure, once it gets to this point, the player starts to have a lot of say, really, in where they go because those are the teams that kind of step up to the plate. Sounds like New England and Tennessee are his top two destinations.
Which I don't hate New England.
I don't hate it either. But I guess my counter is I don't necessarily love it. Like, we love Jamar Chase. We love CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper still. Like, so
See,
yeah.
I'm looking like Julio in Atlanta. I mean, in New England. I mean, dude, I'm probably taking him over McLaurin.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's tough.
yeah.
It's tough because I want to say like Godwin too because
Yeah.
I still think he's like there's not much competition there where Godwin, but I mean, dude, Godwin could be amazing too.
Yeah,
It's tough.
It is tough.
There's just something about a guy with a chip on his shoulder, like for me, that I like. And
Yeah.
I always go back to the Michael Vick and Philly year. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy was, darn near unstoppable. So, all right. And last question about this first page: Jamar Chase, first rookie off the board, 4.11. Too late, too early.
I think it's about right. I think it's a good balance because obviously, there's upside. He's a legit wide receiver one as a rookie. I mean, we saw his former teammate Justin Jefferson do it too. But I mean, we know more often than not, rookie receivers don't hit right away. So I think it's a good spot where there's still a chance, he overachieves on his ADP, but if he doesn't hit, it's not a crazy. You're not drafting him at his ceiling. That part I like. Which,
Right.
with Kyle Pitts, my fear now, especially in redraft, he's getting drafted at his ceiling, and if he doesn't hit, like there's nowhere to go but down. But Jamar Chase, I think he's getting drafted kind of at a good.
Yeah, I could see that.
reward.
And I'm trying to look at the guys behind him, thinking who would I definitely take over him. And it's tough, man. The only one that I think Amari Cooper, I would for sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe Robert Woods too.
Yeah.
I do think Stafford's going to ball out this year, but I don't know, man. After watching Jefferson last year, it's tough to say. And I think he's in a better situation, like quarterback wise. All right, going to pop up the second page here. Getting a little late here from 6th round to about the 10th round. Anybody here stick out to you?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the first name on this, and that's Cooper Kupp. I feel like 2 years ago, I could be wrong, but I believe 2 years ago he was a legit wide receiver one in PPR leagues.
He was.
And then last year, I mean, obviously that whole offense took a step back. Jared Goff took a major step back, but Kupp was still pretty good. And now this year, I feel like in comes Matthew Stafford, which we all absolutely love, and Cooper Kupp's ADP really hasn't kind of gone up with that. And yeah, in PPR leagues, I love Cooper Kupp. Trying to Kenny, I would take him over Kenny Galladay, I think, without a question. Yeah, I don't know. And as much as we love Odell, I mean, the stability that Cooper Kupp offers compared to a hit or miss player like Odell, give me Cooper Kupp all day.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm just looking down the list here. Some guys I like with a lot of potential here. 7.5, DJ Shark.
Yep.
I think there's a ton of potential there. Cortland Sutton, man.
Yeah.
Got to keep talking about Aaron Rodgers, man, maybe in Denver. I mean, if he ends up in Denver, Cortland Sutton's probably a late 2nd, 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
Another guy that the one that said, just to show you the power of Aaron Rodgers, we got Amari Rodgers at the 8.7. I mean, above guys like T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle,
Jerry Jeudy.
A lot of guys there. But I mean, dude, if Rodgers does stay and he ends up being the number 2, I don't think I would have took him there, but just because there's too much risk. All right, going to pull up the end of this here. I'll start this one off. My favorite guy at the end of this is going to come at 12.5, Corey Davis in New York, probably like wide receiver 50 off the board. I think there's a ton of value right there.
All right, so I'll go with my favorite guy, real late, 15.9, Rondale Moore. I don't know if you guys checked out our Spotlight series show on him, but me and the doc, we love Rondale. We think this was the perfect fit for him. I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to try and get him as many touches as he can. And we talked about, Chase Edmonds and James Conner, they really didn't add any other running backs. They can get Rondale more of the ball out of the backfield, too. So I almost look, kind of like ETN's doing the running back, but getting some wide receiver reps. I think it's going to almost be inverse with Rondale. He's a wide receiver, but I think they're going to be giving him some legit running back reps just because he's a playmaker. They want to get the ball in his hands early. So, yeah, I think obviously, you don't want to bet on rookie receiver super high, but to get him in the 15th round with that chance that he's a real playmaker in this offense, it's worth a shot for me.
I can see that. And one last thought I'll give you, too, is a couple teams, like all their receivers are in the very bottom of this draft. That's going to be Detroit.
Yep.
and the Jets. I mean, all three
Yeah.
of their receivers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of them guys is going to emerge as a 1. You could probably get him after the 12th round.
Yeah.
I do think there's some value there. And interesting you said Rondell Moore. I'm still holding out hope for A.J. Green. I
Yeah.
don't care what you say, man. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this edition. Thanks for watching. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. Come be a part of the Masters family. Love to have you. Any last words, Dynasty Al?
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.